In football, some players get yellow cards, some red, but some go that step further and get criminal records. Here are 10 players who have been to the slammer. Joey Barton was one of football's more violent players on and off the pitch. The former midfielder also had problems controlling his temper. Barton was convicted of assault and served 77 days in prison in 2008 after driving his car into a pedestrian in Liverpool. While inside, he also received a 4-month suspended sentence after admitting assault, occasioning actual bodily harm against former Manchester City teammate Usame Dobo. Robinho's career never quite lived up to its enormous potential, despite some good moments at Santos, Real Madrid, Manchester City, and AC Milan. The former Brazil forward was accused of gang of an Albanian woman in Italy in 2013 and was finally sentenced to 9 years in prison in his homeland in March 2024. Ronaldinho is considered one of the greatest players of all time. A World Cup winner with Brazil and an icon at Barcelona, the legendary number 10 went to prison in Paraguay as he and his brother Roberto De Assi were identified as using forged Paraguayan passports to enter the country. To avoid a longer prison sentence, Ronaldinho and his brother agreed to a plea deal, pleading guilty to the charges and accepting fines as a penalty. As part of the plea deal, Ronaldinho paid a $90,000 fine and his brother paid a $110,000 fine. Ronaldinho and his brother were released from prison in August 2020 after spending approximately 5 months in detention. Rene Higuita is best known for his famous scorpion save against England and for changing the position of goalkeeper in the 1990s, coming out of his area and even scoring goals. But in 1993, Higuita was caught up in a kidnapping case involving drug baron Pablo Escobar. The goalkeeper handed over the ransom money in the release of an 11-year-old girl and went to jail because he profited from his action. He spent 7 months in prison and was later released without charge. One of the best right-backs in the history of the game, Dani Alves won it all at Barcelona and was football's most decorated player by the end of his playing career. But that career was cut short due to accusations of in December 2022, and the Brazilian was convicted to 4 years and 6 months in prison. He was released in March 2024 after paying $1 million in bail, having spent 14 months inside. Adam Johnson is one of several professional footballers who have been sentenced to jail for child. The former Manchester City and Sunderland footballer was convicted in 2016. Sunderland sacked him for having an affair with a 15-year-old girl whose identity was kept private for legal reasons. Adam Johnson was released from HM Prison Leeds and HM Prison Moorland in 2019 after serving half of his 6-year sentence. Former Chelsea fullback Marcos Alonso, who turned out for Bolton Wanderers at the time, was arrested in 2011 for his involvement in a car crash in Spain's capital, Madrid. He was the driver of the car, which collided with a wall which led to the death of a co-passenger, who was a 22-year-old woman. He had a blood alcohol level was almost 3 times the permissible alcohol level in Spain. Originally facing 4 years in prison, Alonso had his sentence reduced to 21 months, and it was later dropped completely as the fullback paid $500,000 in an out-of-court settlement to the victim's family. Patrick Kluivert won a host of major trophies with the Dutch side, including a memorable UEFA Champions League triumph in 1995. However, that came to a crashing halt when the then 19-year-old at the time crashed his friend's BMW M3 into Dutch theater director Martin Putnam's car, resulting in the 56-year-old's death. He was sentenced to 240 hours of community service. Wow, just wow! The legend George Best served time in prison in 1984 for drink driving, assaulting a police officer, and failing to answer bail. He received a 3-month prison sentence. Diego Maradona had many run-ins with the law. He received a 15-month ban for failing a drug test for cocaine. Maradona left Napoli in disgrace in 1992. He had been banned from the World Cup for testing positive for ephedrine. In 1994, he got a 2 years and 10 months suspended prison sentence for shooting an air rifle at reporters outside his home in Buenos Aires. He was convicted in 1998. So in conclusion, if you're rich and famous, you can literally get away with murder.